Right, my friends, we're gonna change the guitar strings. It's actually one of my favorite projects. I kind of don't mind doing it. I wouldn't want to have to do it like all the time, but I don't mind to do it every so often. Got some Elixir 1253. This will be the first time that I've used these, but I've heard several good things about it. And I always just start out, but it's like I just take the tension off. Just take the tension off of them. We're going to change these out. Proper maintenance of your instrument, well, it's not only necessary, but it gives you an opportunity to inspect your instrument. If you play it or use it all the time, you're accidentally, you know, sometimes this is Ernie Ball Musician's Toolkit. It's not a necessary evil to have one, but it's just kind of cool. My wife got it for me. I'm not going to reuse these strings. Sometimes if I haven't used a set a bunch, I might save. I'm lying about that. I'll be honest, I've saved them like twice. And the only time it's ever really come back to like pay off for me was breaking a high string or something like that sometimes. Then you have a string to put on without busting a new pack open. But man, I use them. You know what I mean? I put a set of strings on. I use them. These right here, even the poorest of dude would be like, "Nah, I don't want that." You know what I mean? Be insulted if I tried to give them to them. So get this, and like I say, man, as you're doing it, it just gives you the opportunity to kind of inspect your instrument, make sure that things are, just looking good. These little ones sometimes are aggravating because I can't. Gives you an opportunity to take a look at it, and just when you got your strings on there, you can't get up here around the headstock real good. So gives you an opportunity to do that. It's just good maintenance, right? Just take care of it. You take care of your instrument will take care of you, right? My house, just because of the way that we heat, I have that kerosene heater, and then the furnace that we have, the electric furnace, just dry. So, hey son, throw these strings away from me, bro. Roll them up in a ball and just put. Because if I set them down, then I'm afraid one of the puppies might accidentally get it, my man. But yeah. Now we got our strings off there, and like I say, I just cut them. I mean, some people you can twist them off there. You don't have to. Hey guy, hand me that polish off the table right there, bro. Thank you. And this is stuff that I use. Dunlop 65. It's what I bought at the music store a long time ago. Guitar polish and cleaner, and it's not unsafe for your instrument or anything like that. So but little goes a long way. Little goes a long way. Remember that. Not that you're gonna hurt it. I mean, you're not gonna hurt it if you put a little much on it, but you don't want to go crazy. You don't need to. And to each his own. It says to spray it on your cloth and then wipe it on. What difference does it make? You're gonna wipe it either which way. It's my instrument, so I do it that way. But I wipe it off immediately. and start rubbing it in, just kind of go over it. But see, when your strings are on, you can't get all up underneath there real good. Can't get all the finger juices off of it and everything. I mean, the chicken grease does give it tone and sound and everything, but every once in a while, you've got to polish the chicken grease off just a touch, bring her down back to white meat. You know, like I say, this is stuff that was purchased at the music store in specific, so. But I like this opportunity to do it, because this is my playing instrument. Like, I love this instrument. I say it's my playing instrument. It's not even that. It brings me such joy and such supper from my soul that I owe it to this instrument to to love on it and take care of it and do the best job I can to make sure that it's given the best opportunity possible to be around and healthy as long as possible. My prayer is that maybe one day my children, and it ain't about money because it's not really worth that much, but they both will know, my daughter and my son now, they'll both know just how much this instrument meant to me, and maybe they'll want to keep it forever and ever, and then give it to their kids, and then give it to their kids, and whatever. But either which way, it's one of the few material things that I have in this world that I give a flying crap about. Everything else is, I could care less. I know that sounds terrible, but I could just care less. When you have some of the issues I have wrapped around, like just hyperactivity and just learning in general, I just did not realize what a blessing that falling in love with something like this would be for me personally on that type of level. Because guys, I mean, y'all don't know, I never sit still. Relaxing to me is not nothing to do with a recliner most of the time. Never in a recliner. I might lay down, but like from the time I get up in the morning, ever since I was little, tiny, born, my mom and dad always made sure I even had my own chair because I bounced. Not on a rocking chair, but straight back chairs and a rock. A lot of people think it looks crazy, and I've had people ask me if I was alright, if there was something wrong. It's just life. In school, it never worked out. I was always uncomfortable, always just hated it. And, you know, life is, just didn't like it. And I didn't make it. I didn't tough it out. Should have, but I didn't. I had other plans, right? I had a little friend back in the day. She was a good friend. She played instruments and stuff, and her family was into music. Her daddy played the drums. Her name was Donna, and I often think of what an opportunity I would have had to learn from someone who was learning very well. I've been doing, music for a long time, and she was a very, very talented musician. Done the whole school thing and took lessons after school and all this kind of stuff. She was into piano. She played guitar, cello. Um, I took her to several recitings. I took her to one right there in Towson uh, one Saturday. Got to watch her and see her do her thing, but it was like opera kind of stuff. Always loved it. My uncle Kenny, he played, and man, he was a great guitarist. And he would have showed me things if I would have just wanted to learn it at the time. But I just, I had opportunities back then to do it, but my brain just couldn't. I just could not, for the life of me, imagine sitting over top of this thing trying to learn it. I just it was just at that time. It was just that just wasn't gonna happen. Just wasn't part of the deal. And but as I got a little bit older, man, and started picking this thing up for real, because like Donna showed me chords, Uncle Kenny showed me chords, and I strummed a little bit here and there and everything, and all that. And even when I played in the band, like, man, I was faking it so many times because it still hadn't made sense to me yet how that they could just start a song out, never hearing it, and be able to just jam with it. Still hadn't, in my brain, that hadn't clicked yet for me. And I had to sing. That was what I was hired to do. I wasn't hired to be a, you know, guitar player. When I answered ad in the paper to go audition, my audition had nothing to do with being able to play a guitar. They could care less. I mean, it was a win if I could, but the band itself was not like, that wasn't what they didn't care. But I never tried to, like, take it any farther than just understanding what song I was on, and like, okay, whatever. And then finally I started watching this fellow on YouTube, Brian, Active Melody. Spoke of him a couple times, and he had the kind of attitude and just the kind of way about him that I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna watch his videos every week. And my wife will tell you, my best friend Zachary tell you, I watched them. Now that doesn't mean that I went through each one of them and I learned everything on and all that. That's not what I'm saying. Once I struggled through a few things and started getting a little bit of basic knowledge under my belt, then it just made a desire in my soul to want to know more. And I'm still on the journey. I'll be on the journey till the day I die. And I think it's why it's so good for people like myself, or young kids or whatever, that are hyperactive, or just have man, if you can get their little brains at a young age to accept wrapping around something like this, like, even if as a parent or as a teacher, you have to, like, man, it, like, give them make them work with it for about 30 minutes a day or every other day, and, like, man, once they get past to that newness and start seeing that they can do things on their own and they can take off and go with it, just don't never know what that might open up. For me, I had to wait until I was old enough to calm down. Hence the name of the song, Slow It On Down. I've been in a hurry all of my life. And the truth of the matter is, I've just done a real good job of spinning my wheels. It's been in this past couple of years that I've really decided to focus focus in on my weaknesses and turn them into strengths, just like my live streaming gig. Man, I didn't know nothing about no technology. I didn't know nothing about none of that crap. Well, you know what? I made myself do it. And there was some mornings, I swear, my stomach would feel half sick. Signing in and figuring out, make sure that I'm doing everything right. And then I'm not no guru at it, but you know what? It don't no longer make me nervous to go in there. And that's a good feeling. That feels like a win all the way around for me. Because one of my main philosophies is trying to just, mentor people coming out of addiction, or just mentor people in life itself. It's like when you're doing something new, embrace that everything you do is a win. Even if the perception in numbers it's a fail, it's data. As long as you capitalize on it, at least by acknowledging things that you could do to do better, or maybe you just got over doing something. Maybe it just was something you needed to just do, like karaoke. Let's say, you got people that are really good singers, but they just just can't. They just can't get up and sing in front of people. Well, even though they might not never want to do it again, just getting up there and doing it one time and just finding out nobody eats you, that might just send them on one of them journeys where they never stop singing. And that's kind of what I'm searching for these days, is that one thing that makes me want to never stop singing. That thing that makes me just, in this, journey of YouTube and reaching out to people and learning to communicate, work along with something that's bigger than any of us, but it takes each one of us to make it. And accepting that no matter how hard I try, I may not never be what the world considers to be the biggest or the best. And it's forced me into this mindset of just wanting to achieve for me. If you're doing it in front of everybody, then it's a win for them too, because they can maybe see something that maybe they don't know. Maybe they're like, hey, I'll not do that. That was a mistake. Or maybe they'll be like, hey, you know what? I could do that. Because as cliche as it sounds, I mean, like, that to me is the most inspiring, is to feel like that maybe you take something that, man, you didn't know nothing about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and now be able to maybe keep learning, growing, and figuring out how to spread your message without boring the shit out of everybody. Put yourself out there enough to fail, right? But what I'm finding is that no matter what happens when you put yourself out there in a manner that truly is meant to be purely good, nothing's a lose. Everything's a win. You get to count everything you do as a win, because you're coming at it full hearted. Like, I know I've made some of the world's most boring videos, but it's not because, you don't mean well. And you just accept that. As a creator, it teaches you to accept that. Don't let it bug you. It's not a personal thing. It's like, hey, man, that's just honesty, and that's what it feels like. So I embrace it. I mean, I keep doing me, but I keep looking for that avenue in which that I can bring my style, stay true blue to what my intentions were, which my intentions was to spread good vibes in a Christian manner without beating people up with a Bible or scripture, but just by being man enough to live my life in front of people a little bit, share how I truly feel, be honest, disagree, but do it in a respectful kind of way and have a point of view. I think what people lack in this world, and it's not about size or stature, it's about, do you have the conviction to actually have a stand these days? Because these days, people sway like the narrow trees in the wind, you know what I mean? Don't have to hate one another. You don't have to be mean to each other. You don't have to be disrespectful to each other. You don't have to yell. You don't have to call each other racist or Nazis or whatever other derogatory name you can think of, whatever. You hear them all these days. I don't think you want a world that's full of agreeers. I don't. You need to feel what it's like to feel that friction. If you truly believe in the Constitution and you believe in freedom of speech, then the best free speech is the speech we don't like. It's about everybody's point of view. Doesn't mean everybody's point of view is right or anybody's is wrong. It's just about everybody has the right to share their point of view. Doesn't mean you have a right to expect me to buy into your point of view. Neither do I. I can't expect for you to, to agree with what I'm doing or what I say, just like you can't expect it to me. But I can expect for us to respect one another as human beings. Debate anybody on any stage, as long as we come at it with a couple rules. One, we don't call each other names. And two, we don't talk over each other. Agree to disagree, say what you got to say, but you don't have to call each other names, and you don't have to be disrespectful. If that's all you can do, then you've already proven to me that you're working from behind, and it's not worthy of the debate, because it won't be a debate. It'll be about who can speak loudest or call each other the worst name. This is a good time to take a good look at your instrument, man, and just, make sure there ain't nothing crazy going on, or, just a good opportunity to get in there and clean some of those spots that's kind of difficult when your strings are on and everything. So, just wipe it down real good. And it does help protect your instrument. I mean, it's wood. When you have a tone wood instrument, that's one of the best things you can do is to make sure that you keep it cleaned up and treated so that the humidities and stuff and the oils and everything on your fingers and all that, just a little bit better protected from it, man. Enjoy this side of my instrument, man. Like I say, I take a look at it. I'm not like, I got my nose down in it and everything, but you know what I mean. Just take a good look at it. Looking a little bit better. Looking a little bit better. I'm gonna put some of this fretboard conditioner on it. Do that right there. One of them things that makes you feel like they put a baby wipe in there and sold it to you is something else. I don't know if that's true or not. Like I say, it's just for me, man. It's all about giving my instrument, the best opportunity to be took care of, the best that I know how to do. I'm sure there's going to be haters and stuff in the comments probably that's like, hey, you didn't do this right, you didn't do that right. Man, shut up and go on with that. It's probably more than you've done with your own instrument. So, no, I'm just playing, man. I don't know if there's a better way or worse way. I don't know. I'm just kind of talking crap right there. It was just messing, but it sure makes it look good. I don't know if it actually does as good as it looks, but I ain't gonna lie. Got my fretboard looking pretty darn snazzy. I hadn't never used these particular wipes, and you can just see all the dirt, even though I just wiped it off. I mean, your hands have so many oils and just nastiness on them. It's kind of gross. That also part of the sound of your instrument. I always wait, 10, 15 minutes after I pick my guitar up to really start tuning on it, especially if it's been sitting in there in my little recording room or my little studio. If it's been sitting in there and it's a little bit cooler in there, doesn't have direct heat blowing on it. It's got ambient heat coming from out here, but I'll get it out, set it on the couch over here for a second, just bang on it a little bit, and then I'll start going through and tuning it after it starts kind of catching up with my body temperature, and because it does change it. It does change it. Sounds crazy, but it does change it. Yeah, it just looks really good actually. I'm I'm pretty pleased with that. I can see it taking some of that like residual that hadn't come off. It could definitely cleaning that right on off there. Kind of has that smell of that uh that orange cleaner, like the mechanic stuff. Kind of smells like that a little bit. I'm not recommending that you use that on your instrument, but it does have a similar smell to that, like a citrusy. Definitely a big difference. That fretboard was needing to have that proper treatment on it. And you gotta remember, like this is different kind of wood than what your body's made out of. And it gets handled more. It's got your frets in it. A lot of it, man. You'd be surprised just how much film gets on your stuff over the course of time, man. And a quick wipe down ain't gonna do it. Like you have to spend this time with it. That's why I just choose when I do it, I don't get no hurry. This is something I love. Creating change is about sharing myself, things that I love, maybe trying to add some other things in there with it. But first and foremost, it's sharing of myself. Soak for a minute. All right. Now, we got that pretty well took care of, guys. All right, man, gonna try these Elixir 1253 lights out. Uh, I have been told good things about these. We'll put them on here and we'll give them a strum and see how they sound. Okay, start right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just kind of put it in there like that, right? And then just kind of go up to the next peg or somewhere right thereabouts and then back it off. Kind of hold tension on it this direction with this hand. And then I'm sure there's going to be some really genius people in the comments telling us how to do it. I encourage you to not be expecting perfection here. You will be losing automatically. Then so this is the process of changing your guitar strings. That way it's a real it's been a minute since I've had a fresh pair on here, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. Looking forward to hearing them. Yeah, these I've heard good things about them, so and from people that play, so maybe that means that they're a good string. I mean, obviously everybody's got their own opinion and everything, but man, that's the one string when it's out of tune that just sticks out like a sore thumb. I ain't gonna lie. You just hear it so loud in my ear. Yeah, this little one here, man. You always hope that it don't decide to break on you. It's so thin that it can break. I ain't had but a couple of them break on me. I try to take my time first time I run through tuning them, and not most of the time when they break it's because somebody's trying to tune it by ear and don't have no clue what they're doing. All right, now we can tune this sucker up. are slick, but all in all, I'm excited to have that task done. If you stayed with me, I appreciate it, guys. I'll leave you some links in the bottom to find about the strings, and I will definitely, if you check out the next video coming, be a song that I wrote. Appreciate you guys. Look for it right here.